Hello, everyone. Welcome back. You're watching the Kaiser Report. John and Kaiser here to talk to you today a little bit about what's going on with these hearings that are about Doge that took place this morning, which were at best a little disturbing when you listen to the Democrats rant and rave about what's going on with the findings of Doge as they go through the period of investigation of where the dollars are going. And that is in several organizations, as we know from the last couple of days of reports here. It's USAID, and they're looking into the Teachers Association, the Department of Education, the teacher unions, and, of course, the waste and pure mismanagement of money that was done by the investigators that were in charge of looking for where the money was being spent and how it was being spent, which they did not do their job. And the Democrats that are in this hearing railing about why they were fired, it's clear as the nose on your face while they were fired. They were there as inspector generals to get rid of the waste, or at least track through auditing processes where this money was going, and did not do the job that they were assigned in that organization to do as inspector generals. And yes, they were fired, and there was good reason to fire them. But the Democrats, for some reason, just like they don't want to accept the fact that we had an election and 77 plus million people in this country voted to find out and get to the bottom of exactly what was going on inside the organizations that have wasted almost what they're finding now is going to be close to $1 trillion in misspent programs that were DEI related, sex change related, condoms to Muslims that had no intention of using them, but I'm sure that when you look deeper and uncover more in that segment of waste, you'll find out that that money did not go to its intended purposes or the intended people that it was supposed to go to. And they can sit there all they want and scream about it's for the kids, it's for the children, and we're not going to accept Elon Musk as the person that's uncovering this because he has teenagers working for him. Not one mention of the dollars that have been uncovered by the Musk investigation, and not one mention of the fact that these teenagers that he has put in there to work with him, by the way, without a salary, have uncovered a massive amount of mismanagement of dollars, fraud, and beyond that we have not heard of yet, because they don't want to mention that part to you. They just want to mention that the children aren't getting the money that we promised to give them, and they're going to suffer in Africa, and they're going to suffer in the Pacific Rim, and every place that they have been allocating dollars to with no idea of how to trace it, track it, or if it has been spent to its intended purposes, if that at all was not just a cover-up. And then we have them in the streets with Maxine Waters and the like of this Crockett woman and Elizabeth Warren, who needs to just shut up. Here, just take a look at this.
Trump announced that they're going to get rid of all the foreign aid if he doesn't do it. And they're reorganizing all of the right-wing old people. The right-wing old people.
Set apart to the kettle.
Anybody in any of these agencies where we want to go in and capture all of this data, which we will monetize, he's all about money. All of it will be monetized. All of it will be monetized.
Good God, you're dumb.
We're not afraid of you. We know that you are the co-president now of the United States of America. We want you to come forward, and I want you to say, I voted, but I changed my mind.
Good luck with that.
He can't have it, so Elon, come here and face us. Bring your ass on over here. Come on over here and face us. Elon Musk, where are you? Bring your ass over here.
Girl, you nasty.
We're standing up. We're speaking out. And this is our country, and we're not going to let Elon Musk have it.
I can't even say his name.
It's hard to believe that anyone would fight this hard against finding out where the allocated tax dollars that was allocated by Congress for different areas of need, whether it was international or home, when you look at the fact that in our own country, where we've had disasters happen, where we had a need for FEMA's interference or input into getting people back in homes, getting electricity back, getting running water, getting people out of tents in the middle of the winter in the Carolinas, and the people on the West Coast that have lost their homes to fires that were allowed to happen by a Democratic-controlled state with no inkling of what to do with $50 billion or $50 million that they've allocated to stop the Trump programs that he is instituting. There's where their help money went. And FEMA has a lot of nerve to send $60 million to a hotel in New York City, or hotels in New York City, to house illegal migrants. And when it comes out, the Democrats scream and holler curse words in the street against the president, against Elon Musk, and against the programs that were designed for help way back by JFK and have been abused since the 60s as far as auditing or even following the dollars. When they tell you to follow the money, that's exactly what Doge is doing right now, and they are fighting tooth and nail. They do not realize that the American public spoke in this last election, and they are setting themselves up for a real surprise when it comes to the interim elections, where they're going to be remembered for exactly what they're out in the streets doing now, which is not the job we sent them for. If they were really worried about the American public, they wouldn't be doing this. They would be back in Congress making the decisions to make things better for you, me, and everyone else that's a legal citizen in this country, not railing against cleaning up what is a literal invasion of this country by undocumented aliens that are being treated better than the tax-paying public that exist as citizens in this country. It is a crying shame what they're getting away with. And every day, every turn of events, they're in the streets fighting against what we voted for to happen in this next 4 years of this administration. And when you stop and think about what took place in the last 4 years against what's happening right now before your very eyes, in a scant 4 weeks of an administration, we have prisoners that were left to waste away for 14 years in a gulag somewhere in Russia, has been returned to the United States in front of us all last night, and I applaud the efforts put forth by the administration's picks for diplomacy in that region. And now, today, it's been announced that we're talking to Zelensky and clawing back some of that money, and it will be returned probably in minerals, not in cash. But there is an underway right now, a diplomacy effort to put an end to that war. And of course, in the Middle East, it's already underway with an ultimatum. By noon Saturday, the hostages need to be released, and a cessation of this war needs to come to a head this weekend. And I applaud the efforts by this administration and the transparency of DOGE through this whole investigation of where our tax dollars are going by DOGE. I applaud the transparency there as well. Let's take a look at this.
X, are you okay? This is X, and he's a great guy, high IQ. He's a high IQ individual.
And he's got this, check out this cool chain he's got.
Could you mention some of the things that your team has found, some of the crazy numbers, including the woman that walked away with about 30 million,
right,
etc.?
Well, we do find it sort of rather odd that there are quite a few people in the bureaucracy who have ostensibly a salary of a few $100,000, but somehow manage to accrue tens of millions of dollars in net worth while they are in that position, which is, what happened at USAID. We're just curious as to where it came from. Maybe they're very good at investing, in which case we should take their investment advice, perhaps. But there seems to be mysteriously they get wealthy. We don't know why. Where does it come from? And I think the reality is that they're getting wealthy at the taxpayer expense. That's the honest truth of it. Then you understand the motivations. So if people receive money, they don't complain, obviously. But if people don't receive money, they do complain. And the fraudsters complain the loudest and the fastest. And the fraudsters complain the loudest and the fastest.
We are going to be in your face. We are going to be on your asses.
We don't pledge allegiance to Elon Musk.
We have got to tell Elon Musk, nobody elected your ass.
We are going to fight this fight. I am going to stand with you in this fight.
Elon Musk is a Nazi Nepo baby.
Elon Musk wants everyone in America to be at the mercy of Elon Musk.
The young, the old, black and white, our Native American friends. Hey, how are you? Hey, how are you? Hey, how are you? Hey, how are you? Well.
Your detractors, Mr. Musk.
I have to what?
Including a lot of Democrats.
I have detractors?
You do, sir.
I don't believe it.
Say that you're orchestrating a hostile takeover of government and doing it in a non-transparent way. What's your response to that criticism?
Well, first of all, you couldn't ask for a stronger mandate from the public. The public voted. We have a majority of the public voting for President Trump. We won the House, we won the Senate. The people voted for major government reform. There should be no doubt about that. That was on the campaign. The president spoke about that at every rally. The people voted for major government reform, and that's what people are going to get. They're going to get what they voted for. And a lot of times, people that don't get what they voted for. But in this presidency, they are going to get what they voted for. And that's what democracy is all about.
It's hard to believe that anyone would be an elected official, a congressional seat that would argue against finding the facts out about what they're uncovering and reporting to we the people who we elected Donald J. Trump on a platform, and he was transparent through the whole campaign about Elon Musk's involvement in getting the people to use AI or any other method to uncover exactly where every dollar and every 3-cent penny that we have is going to, and why it's going there, and how can we get it back or put an end to wasteful spending that our Congress appropriates cash to go to one place and it ends up in 4 different areas of things that have no business and no benefit to the American public or this great nation. I say this to you every day because it is the most important, crucial point of the turn into the golden age that we're about to step into, and patriotism is back in this country, and the non-patriotic Democrat seats that will not adhere to what we, the people, have asked them to adhere to need to be primaried the heck out of there, because they are the problem, and we need to remember and not have a short-term memory lapse when it comes to the interim elections in a scant few years away, couple of years. It's almost a tragedy what had been allowed to happen around the world in the last 4 years, and what's happened to this country, the economy of this country, the debt load of this country that has taken place since the Bush administration had allowed it to happen. And for a brief stint in the Trump first election, when all of the Democrats started to fight against it tooth and nail and have corrupted the FBI and other 3-letter agencies to use lawfare against anyone looking into the monkey business that they were involved in, and now it's coming out. The curtain has been pulled back. They're fighting tooth and nail against it, and we all have to get together and ask why. Why are you fighting so hard against what we should have been doing all along, as far as we as people have to balance our bank books, and we have to pay our bills, and we have to watch where we're spending money, but the government has a blank check to just send money to any despot that has a program for an idiotic reason in another country, and we give our tax dollars to them. That's not the way this country was envisioned by its founders, and it is not the constitutional way to do things. And if they want to use non-elected judges in certain districts to disrupt the work of this president, then they need to be taken to task through legal channels. And I believe that when approved, Pam Bondi will be the one to hold their feet to the fire and figure out how we can make them pay for their crimes and their ludicrous decisions against a Doge organization that was appointed by the president, duly appointed by the president, to find out where the waste is and put a stop to the waste. And there you have the Wednesday Kaiser Report letting you know what is going on that lamestream media will forget or make sure you don't get to hear from their broadcast. So welcome to Rumble, welcome to YouTube and Truth Social, because here you will get the unvarnished truth from the Kaiser Report every day, that we can tell you what's going on behind the last piece of curtain that needs to be opened for us to view what's behind it. So have a wonderful, wonderful rest of Wednesday. You've got a lot of TV to watch. If you are interested in these hearings, I'm sure some of you have already been enthralled by the lousiness of some of the people that we elected into positions on the Democratic side that are fighting against our success and this administration's success. So with that, we're going to let you go today, and I'm going to tell you to stay strong, stay safe, and stay tuned to the Kaiser Report for truth and a look at what's going on in your world today. Bye-bye now. God bless.